Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen him. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Some Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.
Yeah.
No, we're live. You can keep going.
Cool. All right.
I didn't want to interrupt the flow. I was trying so hard. I thought I was doing really good at not interrupting the flow right there, and then as soon as I hit the
fire
it was
off air.
That was like instant observation affects the object because I didn't even do the countdown or nothing.
You should leave. No need to do that. But yeah, especially now, I believe we were talking about Web3, and I believe there's a new fresh wave coming along. There's a new fresh opportunities coming to all the audience out there. And most people were not really recognizing right now what's going on there because it's a wave, a big wave, which is really far away, but I believe it's already doing something yet in the background. You can see, of course, just an example, Facebook rebranded to Meta, which is really interesting because that says everything, to be honest. That says that the whole crypto technology, hyper ledger technology is already ruling the world somehow. And it's really interesting in nowadays to see how the Web3 adoption is going along. I see that the people are going to start to hype the benefits of owning the platform by its own. So if you have this cryptocurrency, you own the platform by your own. And with this token you hold in your wallet, you are allowed to vote or to decide how the platform is growing by itself long term. And it's really, I like the idea here. And we will see.
Governance is kind of the future.
Yeah. And it's not only on platforms. I can imagine, Web3 and decentralized finance and decentralized autonomous organization in itself is something you can use in several layers. And when it comes to society, governance in a political way, our financial infrastructure, when it comes to digitize the financial infrastructure, because our days financial infrastructure is really analog. It feels like digital because of online banking, but at the end, you would wonder how analog and static the system behind is. And this is really interesting to see here that it's more and more, this is kind of a revolution in the background that the whole financial institutions are getting into blockchain as well. And we will see where we go here.
What do you think is going to be like the first experiment? I feel like it's going to be some small government or some small town somewhere or something like What do you think is the best environment to kind of test this stuff to see if it scales and it's good for society?
Yeah, exactly. And this is what this is a good point here, because this is what we are working on, the COSIS network project. The good thing is that we decided, or let me start another ways. All protocols, DeFi and Web3 protocols out there, they're really sophisticated and great. But we were now thinking of, okay, how can you design an infrastructure combining these protocols somehow to make a real secure way of Web3 usage? And we see that all these protocols out there, when it comes to saving money, for example, there's so you buy in as a retail investor into treasury systems, how you print real money, which is real valuable. It's interesting to see that this approach is really working out. It's waterproof right now. And we are always questioning ourselves, how can we use that? And I believe if you have, strict principles, how you grow an ecosystem and scale the ecosystem, we are good to go with adopting the average Joe out there when it comes to Web3. Because Web3 is something which is awesome because it's decentralized. The average Joe is owning the platform by its own, so to say. So the user owns the platform, each other's. And on the other way, because of that, there are some critical things you need to keep in mind. For example, if you have your own wallet where you store your money, so to say, if the key, private key is gone, your whole money is gone. And such things needs to be educated. So there are benefits when it comes to Web3, but it's also a requirement that you know what you are doing out there.
Personal responsibility. I think it's going to hold a lot of people back with adoption. Like I predict that these first 2 to 3 decades of crypto, people are going to lose so much crypto from locking themselves out of their own wallets that it's going to significantly affect the supply and demand ratio of a lot of coins.
Absolutely.
It's wild.
And this is why we really was thinking about, there's dozens of good projects out there when it comes to crypto, but how it feels like in our day, which is kind of an issue, to be honest, is that the crypto projects out there are done for crypto nerds. And we were thinking of, okay, the technology is really working out today. So it's waterproof, they are audited and so on and so forth. They are verified, they're working out. So now it comes on, how can you design a platform that the users are really can use it and trust in it, not only in the system because of it's decentralized, in a system because of what's in the background, they are really willing to do sustainable things. Because most Web3 projects, let's be honest, are Ponzi, meme projects or whatever. I like that approach because that shows because of the technology, how free we can be, which I find really, really important in nowadays globally. But I believe additionally that we need solutions to make this more secure and user experience, so to say.
Can we get where do we get though on Web3 on these centralized internet service providers, right? You say, use the analogy of a wave coming from the distance. That I think that could give them time to build a wall. We've seen what China has done with their wall when it comes to the Web 2, internet itself. When Web 3 is very dependent on centralized entities to thrive as a decentralized entity in this internet environment, the virtual environment. How does this not be a paradox in the making, Yeah.
And this is really interesting because you say this. I give you an example here. I want to shout out love at once, and at the same time, I want to say be careful out there. Morales, all know about Morales. I love what they're doing and all the partnership with Avalanche Network there. That's so great thing. But this project is one of the best examples when it comes to doing a decentralized approach in a centralized way. Because at the end, the background, these smart contracts and so on, but nevertheless, the back end storing the data is centralized.
Amazon probably.
Yeah. This is, to be honest, this is not a real big issue. It's more about the consciousness. It's more about that the user are conscious about what they are using. And of course, if the data or the smart contracts which are ruling the applications are running on a blockchain in a decentralized way, is good. And you can store user data centralized. Why not? the definition decentralization is a really, really big thing. You can have something decentralized with centralized application in it.
Right.
And this is something people need to understand here. And this makes it so hard to understand what is Web3 really about. What does mean decentralized or decentralization at all?
I think it starts with meshnet internet, where I like the GoTenna thing, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. But yeah, I think it's going to start with mesh netting your community internets and having multiple nodes and hubs within those mesh nets of mesh nets. But I don't know. Without a decentralized internet, we really are just like playing pretend decentralization.
That's true. And you can see this even in nowadays. I mean, of course, we have Twitter and so on centralized, but the whole way how the user is using the internet is decentralized in this approach, to be honest, nowadays. Otherwise, or let me say it like this. It's just, you can see it especially when in crisis like Ukraine or so, you can see that nevertheless, it doesn't matter what is in the way, the informations can be distributed globally. And this is a real great milestone when it comes to our human history, so to say. And now Web3 is taking the idea of Web 1, so to say. Web 1 was totally decentralized. That was the idea behind that. Web 2, I mean, was more like platforms has abused that somehow to be economically decentralized, but storing data centralized. And Web3 is the best approach now that you have your data decentralized in a decentralized market. And this is the best what we can do here, because that keeps everything flexible and everything more scalable. I know that people now don't believe in a free market. I believe in a combination of having an open, globally free market, but instances which has strict policies or so to keep the community secure. And Web3 is offering the best platform, so to say, to do such things.
Yeah, it would be cool to see one big internet service provider DAO out and become like the world's first decentralized internet service provider via a DAO, and just like airdrop all the stock shareholders like a significant portion of the DAO. And I don't know, it would be great. I would love to see that. It would work. Somebody do it. Elon, you listening?
No, he listens. I'm just kidding.
Tokenize the Starlink project.
Well, I mean, you can DAO out and still synonymously have 51% of the token supply and voting power, Yeah.
I mean, yes, tokens are like shares, this is the same here. So if we have shares of Starlink, so to say, this is something we can tokenize. So it is technically possible to say Starlink is community driven, which doesn't mean there's a core team behind it, and maintain the protocols and do the magic and so on. But when it comes to owning the shares, it's like with stocks, just you can distribute them and the community owns it. And you can tokenize literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate, investment for real estates even could be much more accessible for retail investors.
Oh, and they're all getting forked. All those physical assets are being forked now into the fucking metaverse. So you're getting an airdrop of, if you own a house in the real world, you're probably from like Century 21 going to get airdropped an NFT of your house. Like in a metaverse of Century 21's metaverse or whatever real estate metaverse is. You might even get multiple house airdrops from multiple real estate metaverse companies. Like we really don't know, but like I'm sure that'll be gamified. Like these physical assets will be forked into the metaverse.
I like your word gamified here, because I believe what this is all about. When it comes to everyone is needs to do in all day life, needs to do financials, save their money somewhere, be educated, own real estates or own space somehow. We are all dependent on that. So I believe that the free and tokenization of things could make this all more efficient at the end. And because of even, you know, the retail investor can own it, even for the companies, it makes more flexible how they decide it and how they position on the market and so on. So it's a benefit for big companies as well. I mean, there are reasons why Microsoft and so on are now involved into a blockchain development. They are not idiots, you know, they know why they're doing this right now. Hopefully other cool projects like Decentraland, for example, will rule more the game than Meta. This is my hope, to be honest, because there are hardworking communities out there who really invent the whole thing, and I don't know.
That's going to be an interesting. That's going to be an interesting battle to see. One, because even even these Facebook solutions need to use Facebook marketing. All these Google competitors use Google AdSense, right, for advertising. So it's going to be really interesting to see any of these companies that are in any way competing with Facebook utilizing their marketing tools to get that user base. Oculus, I think, just on Christmas, sold more consoles than Xbox and Sony combined. So that's pretty powerful stuff when Facebook's like, hey, we got a console. Let's not promote the Xbox or Sony thing, the PlayStation too much. Let's not promote that. We're going to promote our Oculus for kids on Christmas more. And, that's what I think when we start to see these metaverse market, like the way that Facebook's going to market it, we're probably going to see a lot of that, scammer, like a lot of stuff making the decentralized versions look bad, like that demonized, red flag type articles, the false flag type articles. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at these, I'm like, oh, I want to eat them and they're red. But yeah, like those false flag articles where it's going to demonize decentralized, saying people are getting scammed, this and that. But in Facebook or in Meta, we have your back or whatever. You have tech support or whatever. Like they're definitely going to do that shit. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see them compete once they start, because we've seen what happens with Instagram. They just get gobbled up, right? Snapchat, we're just going to steal that tech. TikTok, we're going to do that. That's Zuckerberg's whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's the Winklevoss twins.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely say that, because that's interesting to see is TikTok is an example. TikTok is really has succeeded. Okay, what is YouTube doing right now? You have the same video clips right now. It's same working like TikTok, or for example, Instagram stories. LinkedIn has now stories, so it's kind of merging the ideas at once.
Yeah, but they're banning other cross-platform sharing. So if you, like, I just recently found out, if you promote other platforms on YouTube, they can ban you on YouTube. So you can't promote your TikTok on your YouTube Shorts. You can get your account suspended for that. So I'm just like, oh, not only are they copying what the other platform's doing, they're banning cross-platform sharing of content. Yeah. Could you imagine if Twitter said you could get your account banned for sharing a link to your Facebook post?
That's great. But
yes, the thing. People want to promote on their social media thing. Like most people these days have a brand or a business or at least something that they're affiliated with that they want to push.
I think a good Web3 DApp social media platform would be a great on-ramp for mass adoption. I think gaming's good. I think gaming's good, but I think someone's going to have to figure out this social media vibe more so than others have.
Both. It's going to be a social media
Hive's doing really well. Like the Hive blockchain has like a fucking, I don't know, a plethora of dApps for like social media tools.
Yeah. And I have used it long time now.
There's just so many.
This is a real Hive is one of the best. Hive is the fork of Steam. It in the early days.
It's a fork of Steam. Yeah, Steam. It was just like a dApp on Steam.
Yeah, exactly. True. Steam was the blockchain behind it. And this really works out. So I believe when it comes to tokenization, at the end, everything what have interests can be tokenized, and everything what have interest and is tokenized are assets which will be shared in pools. And this is where the money is coming from. Hive is doing this in a really, really good way. So it's like they're collecting the interest, so to say, and minting the currency out of this. And this is how the authors and promoters of this post and the curators, how they call that, are rewarded. And the idea is really great. You can literally do this with everything out there. I'm working on some projects like when it comes to tokenizing shared e-mobility, for example. So imagine, for instance, that you own the scooters out there because you have your tokens in your crypto wallet. And because you own the tokens and you stake them, you have a discount of using the scooters, and so on and so forth. We have some of these projects out there, and I believe this network, the partnership network we are growing here, is the best way to do Web3 at the end, because the partners are all verified, and we try our best to use the great crypto mechanisms which are already out there and combined in a good way to make it more sustainable. Because we're a little bit tired of all these time wonderlands out there, which is a great project. I don't want to say that. I don't want to blame that. But the thing is, most people, it's kind of a Ponzi thing. Some people get hyped of it, get in, then it's pumped, high interest, the people pay out, the interest is away, and much other people lose their money. And I believe this is an issue which needs to be solved in nowadays, to be honest. There are solutions for that. And it's about network, reputation, and so on and so forth. But I believe we are coming into a new era of Web3 right now. For the average Joe out there, they don't realize, they see Web3 as a whole and one topic. But with guys with us, they're like, okay, we have this Web3 .1 and Web 3.2 support, because we are learning right now how to improve the system, the protocols, and especially what we are working on, combining these protocols in a good, sustainable network somehow. And this is what we need to learn here to adopt the real users out there, to adopt the real world.
Is that the next big thing? Like, what do you think is the next big thing coming? Because 3 years ago,
yeah,
NFTs weren't like even crypto people didn't know much about NFTs yet. Like you could have been in Bitcoin from the start and still not really know much about NFTs a few years ago. And now it's like the biggest thing, potentially, like especially like on an enterprise level. It's like potentially the biggest thing out there. So I don't know.
To be honest, I believe, I would say the next big thing is Ecosis, just to make advertisement here. I want to tell you why. I believe not just because of our branding, but I believe the next big thing is not just one idea like NFT or DeFi, which has revolutionized everything in the crypto space somehow. It's more about how do you combine these things to make it more user, deliver a better user experience and a more secure user experience. I believe this will be the next big thing, because the base, what Web3 is already defined now. There are already companies or DAOs out there ruling the market, so to say. But I believe the next big thing is how to adopt the average Joe or the average Zeus, or how I like to call it with gender here. And I believe it's interesting more how can we argue that Web3 is secure to use and easy to use, and this solution will be the next big thing, in my opinion.
I don't think that adoption phase so here's where I'm at with mass adoption. I don't think the adoption phase will occur by users adopting Web3 or dApps, or I think what's going to happen, it will be more like a mass almost kidnapping, right? They're going to be kidnapped into Web3 because these platforms are just going to migrate over. They're going to migrate everything over. So it'll be a migration. There we go. It'll be a mass migration from Facebook Web 2 to Facebook Web 3, or Meta as a dApp. We can see where Facebook and Meta and where it's going. So they may never have to make a wallet, because like Coinbase, Facebook may be this, right? Facebook already does KYC. If you get locked out, they want a copy of your driver's license, proof of address, even if somebody makes an account pretending to be you, now you have to prove your identity to Facebook to stay on Facebook.
Yeah.
They also have a banking system where you can send payment in their messenger to and from each other. I don't think that it's too far-fetched to look at mass adoption more as a mass migration or whatever, right on over to just it'll just be a day where, hey, Facebook, you have this MetaMask like wallet, you have crypto here, you have an NFT wallet. There's a little tab that click on it and you go to the virtual metaspace.
And Twitter's already kind of going there. If you look at like the PFP things that they allow now, and then like you can connect like the tip thing now to like different
on Twitter, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's wild. So they're already doing it. I mean, it's probably because, the connection with Square and Jack Dorsey and Bitcoin and everything and Cash App. But I mean, whatever company does that first, I think you're totally right. Like we're all going to have.
I think they're going to do it all at the same time. They're definitely having board meetings about it because they all depend on each other. When you log in with Facebook, when you log in with Google, when you log in with Twitter, all that shit, that's like the Illuminati of the fucking web too. Like that, without that login with, that one of those goes down, a lot, even enterprise shit is fucked. So
it's going to get weird though, because every government is going to have probably like a government issue wallet. And you'll probably have to vote through that, do taxes through it. And any income will probably have to go through that so they can monitor on chain.
Mandatory whitelisting. Yeah.
The system anyway. Yeah.
They could even use Bitcoin like this with whitelisting. So they could centralize Bitcoin. That's what I get worried about.
War will fought in VR, dude. And if I kill you, now your NFT turns from blue to red. And you're on our side. Now you have to fight for it. So it'll probably be like some weird thing like that. And then whoever ends up with more soldiers, because the NFT controls the wallet. So financially, if you don't go with it, you're like screwed.
That's funny.
That's probably what war will eventually be. Is just some extrapolation of violence through finance.
Like Ready Player One meets Squid Games, but on international levels.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is exactly what I love. This is exactly what I like to see the whole, as it's like a real global community here. And even like you have said here, when it comes to Nathan, when it comes to gamifying the stuff and so, even the idea when it comes to NFTs, to have items which you can level up and sell them on the free market is literally awesome. Of course, you want to do that. For example, like the crypto kitties or these, how is it called, Inksies, or how is it called? And that you have your cards or splinter lands on Hive blockchain. That you have your cards, magic cards, so to say, which you can level up and sell them to the next one. And there is a professional market now out there. This is so awesome to see. This is
one thing I worry about though is so if you have a government wallet and then you have a special NFT. What if they decide to make an actual cement class system that you had to transcend through the NFT classes to get certain utilities or privileges in society?
They already have that.
That's a way where this could be used in a nefarious. I'm just,
Well, that's what a license is, isn't it? Like if you want a license to carry a gun or a license to drive. If you want a license to drive, you have to go through these, permission-based courses and
sort of, but you can still get in the car and just drive. Like if there was something that made it to where the car's driving ability wasn't enabled unless you presented some NFT, that's a different level.
Well, that's your key. That's the car key. If you don't, I guess you could hotwire the car.
Well, you probably your car would probably scan your phone in some way, and then you push the button in your car to start it.
Yes, stuff like this. Or even let's go further in here when it comes to IoT, that on the street, for example, if you ride on with your car, with your electric car on the street and your battery is charged while you're riding on the street. And in the background, this is calculated with tokens and distributed with tokens. This is the future. This will come. It's the question is when this and who is doing this at the end, but this will come. And I can imagine that people, when it comes to what will be the job in the future, I can imagine that a lot of people will
virtual jobs. Yeah, virtual
jobs, or just participate in a virtual ecosystem somehow, like you have in Metaverse, and you get rewarded because you level up your skin or so and sell it to the next one. Yep. This is how this is how the future will look like. There's no way around, I believe. The question is, who is doing this, who rules the whole thing, and who is the innovator? And hopefully the community, the DAOs out there will be much more stronger than in a Meta or Facebook out there. But this is something we will see. I believe they will compete in the long term.
I think it's up to the developers. That's where the real war for true decentralization lies. If if Zuckerberg can get developers to build for him as opposed to for the world as a whole in a decentralized way. So yeah, maybe these DAOs can be more enticing to these developers to get them to quit those corporate jobs and contribute to community projects instead of corporate projects.
Yeah, I can imagine too, and this is why, for example, me and my team are working on a system that we can live out of this by our own, and we want the same for every user on it. So our vision is that you have, because of the system, a sustainable passive income, and better to say, we want go a step further. We want to go that far that you even pay your services passively. So you don't pay them like you the money is spending from the bank account. You stake for the things you pay for.
Yep.
And you keep your money on your savings. And I believe this is the future with our protocols we have now. This is something which is realistic. This is something we can build. So it's more up on how many users understanding the idea and are participating somehow as early as they can to be a bigger community, bigger than the companies out there. But at the end, competitions will exist no matter what. But the good thing is that the people in the future can more decide who they trust, not only one platform anymore.
Yeah, and they can use both at the same time, knowing that's what I feel like a lot of people are doing these days, using the platforms a little bit more cautiously because they know, and maybe not, people don't click on as many ads on Facebook as they used to, back in the day. I'm sure people were more inclined to just click on something they saw as a pop-up banner on social media, but now they have that thought before they click on it, like, nah, they're trying to get me, screw that. So I think they'll use the platforms more cautiously on the centralized way, and then have a more freeing experience on the decentralized end of it as well. I think we'll see a balance of both, honestly. I don't think there'll be a winner or a loser. I think there'll be a balance.
It will be a really long and slowly change, so to say. It's more like new opportunities, and it's not about replacing. It's each company, are more conventional one or more modern one, needs to define or needs to find its position in the niche, so to say. And I can imagine that Meta or Facebook will rule its own thing a long term now. It will be long period. They will be successful. But how you had said, it's like the people's or the users has more consciousness about platforms. And we will see how it grows, but I see movement here. And this feels really great.
Yeah, I think it's like you mentioned IoT earlier. I think that's really where it's going to end up starting, is with the IoT. And obviously, I think real adoption starts with supply chain. So the supply chain, I think supply chain IoT, honestly, may be the real catalyst. And then we'll see a lot of things branch off of that. Do you want to send me a link for the project you were working with, and I could put that, bring that up?
Yeah, I would love to, of course. And I'm really looking forward for the future, because I believe doing such great hangouts with you guys like these would be awesome long term to do most of the times here. So I really love that.
Oh, you got the link to the calendar, so yeah, man, book it up.
Definitely.
Yeah, Nathan always encouraged people to take advantage of that.
We want people to feel free to come and say hello.
Yes, I'm looking in the Google Calendar information you gave me, and I don't see a link. That's why I was seeing if you could provide.
Yeah, but that is something I can give you, of course. definitely do that.
Can you give it to me right now, though? I wanted to bring it up for the chat.
Yes. Give me a second for this. Because I'm because I'm on a smartphone here now live. I can send you the link here directly on the chat. It's ecosys.network. This is kind of the gateway to everything. Ecosys.network. Yes, that's it.
There we go. Let me grab that for the chat.
Grab it.
Yeah, I wish I had that for the title of the chat earlier. I should have asked, but we were talking and it was going so well. I actually forgot to ask.
I love that when it's more organically. So we will have the opportunities to share about projects later on as well.
Yeah, we definitely got to know each other, and yeah, we'll definitely have to have you on to dig more into what you're doing here with Ecosys.
Yeah, exactly, that's it. And what this is at the end, it's partnership network with DAOs who are focusing mainly on Web3 adoption and easy to use, or better to say, more better user experience of crypto. And what we are building here is a network of DAOs with all-day services. Like you want to have a banking system, we have a DAO for that, which is verified. You have like a band, which is called, so to say, a store of value, kind of SafeMoon you have maybe heard of, but within this ecosystem. Then we have the product Nomics. Nomics is the payment protocol at the end that you pay everything passively out of your smartphone. So you don't pay your bills anymore with your money, but spending your money, you pay it because of your revenues in the background. And one is the all-in-one wallet. So it's the wallet there, all the tokens or the cryptocurrencies, better to say, are bundled into it for an easy-to-use usage here. And it's a native wallet. It's on an Avalanche network. So you can create here a new wallet, and you will get your private key, or you can import your already existing private key into it, and you can use our tokens there. We are very early. We are about to launch right now, but now it starts. Everything is ready. So Bend is going to launch. This is kind of the, like I said, SafeMoon, so to say. And this is the goal for the whole ecosystem. And the whole system is designed like that Web3 usage is more secure and more easy to use. For example, we built a fiat processing so that you can, for example, stake in your wallet directly from your bank account without the need of exchanges and so on to make it more easy. And stuff like.
Yeah, I got my own shitcoin. We got the Kenn token in the Bromunity. Maybe we could play around, do something with that.
Absolutely great, really. I love that. This is how it works.
See, bros, this is how it works. Oh man, yeah. Christopher, I really appreciate it, man. It was great to get to chat. I know we all got things we got to get to. I guess we'll wrap things up with some final words. Check out ecosys.network, bros. Let me know what you think in the chat. Shout out, let me know in Telegram as well. They have a Discord. I posted a link there. If you have any questions for them in their community, join up and hit up Christopher over in Discord. The link's right there in the chat. But yeah, I guess anything you wanted to make sure we got to chat about that we didn't maybe get a chance that we could mention real quick, Chris?
I would say what I really found loveful here is that we talked about Web3 in general. I see what I really love is when I see communities or other guys out there with the enthusiasm, with the energy with it, and really live out of crypto. And this is the only thing I can mention here, that it was a real great session with you guys. And let's keep it up and do some more sessions like this in the future.
Yeah, if you want to hop on next week or whenever, hop on, man. We'll be looking forward to it. Nathan, you got the floor, bro. You want to play us something? You want to play us out?
Should I play something?
Yeah, play us out. Play us out.
Oh my god. This thing's in tune.
Give us the magic.
I'll play like the beginning of an 80s hit that we all know. way too slow. Know I've been down before. Had my love caught in the slamming door. How about some information, please? Straight up tell me, are you really gonna love me forever? Or is it a hit and run?
Bro, bro, bro.
Straight up tell me, are you really gonna love me forever?
Bro, bro, bro.
Or are you just having fun?
Bro, bro, bro.
Hello, happy bro bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Some Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.